Hello. Thank you guys so much for having us today. I'm Alison Bringé, as Bryony said, and I'm here joined with CEO of Launchmetric, Michael Jaïs. Michael, I'll let you kick us off for the day. Let's get started.
Sure. Thank you, Alison. Hello, everybody. I'm Michael. I'm the founder and CEO of Launchmetric. And well, I'm really super happy and proud to welcome you today and to introduce this session. I'm really super happy because obviously last year we had like a fantastic year with like incredible speakers and audience coming from 33 markets. So the bar was already super high. But this year, I would say that we even have more pressure. More pressure because we got more than 20% more signups to this event. But beyond that, I think that really brand performance, the challenge around it, the expectation of consumer around brand performance have never been that critical this year. So I'd like to really explain that and give you some really important takeaways in order to make sure that 2023 will be a success. So let's start with the analysis of what happened in 2022. So after like a significant reduction in 2021, somehow it seems that the industry has been resurfaced. And we are coming to a new phase that could be like a little bit disappointing compared to the figures of 2021, but that it's likely to be like kind of a new normal. Is it a new normal for everything? I don't believe that. I strongly believe that, especially for brand performance, it will become the beginning of a new era. Why do I say that? Because I had the feeling that really consumers expect much more than brands, and that the pressure on the brand will not be the same anymore for several reasons. I would say global, economic, social, environmental reasons. I think that the expectation about brand is that they become really a pillar of the community, and that changed a lot. Second reason also is because the context has changed, especially around the link between brand marketing and performance marketing. The fact that performance marketing has been reducing significantly in terms of efficiency and impact in 2022 really changed the posture of marketers regarding brand marketing. Of course, brand marketing will be super important in terms of raising the awareness, but will also be even more important in terms of business results. So it means more pressure, more expectation, and more, I would say, criticity for brand performance. The last point, and I would like to share the insight I would like to present today by that, is the fact that brand performance and brand value is now measurable. So that is really like the first KPI I would like to share with you, which is the fact that for the first year, we've been really working hard with a lot of analysts, a lot of consultants, with a lot of financial institutions also, and hedge funds, private equity. And basically, we know now that the value of the brand varies from 50% to 90% of company value. So it means a lot. It means that basically the brand, and it's proven, it's like there are really a lot of facts and data around that. The brand really accounts for more than 50% of the value of all the companies in fashion, luxury, and beauty. Alison, I don't know if you can like put the next slide, please. So really that's the first insight I would like to share with you. So let's see what are like the three data statements. So because the brand is so important, it has impact. And that's what I would like to share with you now. So 50% of company's value lies to the brand itself. What does it mean? It means that because it's an asset, and because it's, I would say, even the main asset for most fashion, luxury, and beauty company, it means that you want to improve it. It means that you want to make it more efficient. It means that this asset, you want to make it even more profitable. But actually, there is like a very simple rule around it. The rule is that what you can not measure cannot be improved. So if you really want to improve the value of this asset, it means that it needs to be measurable. It means that you need to really be able to really measure the profitability and the efficiency of this asset. And that's where we come to the second insight I would like to share with you, which is the fact that being data-driven in terms of how you measure the impact of your brand, really, it's a critical aspect of any initiative you will have in 2023. Now it's hard, and I know that for most of the marketers, really the ability to really interpret the data, understand it, really get the real insight around it is a real effort. And most of the marketers we are talking to, they say the same thing. But the result is really worth the effort. For the first time, again, we've been able to measure the impact of data in the company's landscape in terms of competitive advantage. And the result is really amazing. Really, most of the companies that are really data-driven, they outperform their competitors by up to 20%. So the competitive edge that is given by the fact that you are really into analyzing, understanding, and measuring the data is huge. It would be, I would say, in the next 12 to 24 months, probably the main competitive advantage that most brands in the fashion, luxury, and beauty segment will have when it comes to benchmarking to their competitors. So brand momentum is critical and is becoming like the main asset for most of the companies in the sector. The company that will be data-driven will have like an outstanding competitive advantage compared to your competitors. The last topic I want to focus on is about amplification. And it's really connected to the agility. You know, at Launchmetric, we have like a lot of KPIs and indicators that we monitor and we share it with our customers. I was checking some of them recently, and there is one of them that really talks to me a lot, which is this one. When there is a launch, 80% of the performance of any visual assets you have prepared and you're about to launch and propagate is generated within the first 3 days of the launch of the fashion show. So it means a lot. It means that not only we can measure that the value of the performance is in this very reduced timeline, but it tells a lot also about how you can improve your performance by being more agile, by being able to measure in real time what is the performance of your launch and how you can really change the picture very quickly in order to really not miss this very limited timeline that will drive the success or the failure of your campaign. So altogether, that's the reason why I feel responsible. I feel also accountable, because I have the feeling that what is around with brand performance has never been that critical in this year. First of all, because brand value is like the main value for our customers. Secondly, because being data-driven is a must and it's really drive your competitive advantage. And third, because agility is everything when it comes to amplification. That is the three topics that really will drive our thought, our roadmap, and also what we're going to share with our customers in 2023. That is, like, as I said, like a very important year for the industry when it comes to brand performance and brand marketing. And I'm super happy that in the next session, you will be able in the next 3 days to really discuss it, to really share the insight, comment it, object it also. And I think that really you will have not only the ability to interact, but also to listen to great speakers, experts from the industry, coming from like the tech environment, like the fashion, luxury and beauty segment, but also people from our team who will be also there to really share with you all the insight and everything we've been preparing for these great sessions. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. I will now let the floor to fantastic CMO Alison. Thank you for joining, and I hope that you will enjoy this session. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. I think that was a great kickoff for the next few days, and I'll take it from here and give a little bit more insight on the 3 pillars that Michael discussed in his presentation. You know, he talked a lot about the brand being the most valuable financial asset to fashion, luxury, and beauty companies today. And I think if you guys had to have some inclination of what that means, it's, you know, why does a consumer think about buying something like Gucci over Prada? Why do they shop, you know, MAC over NARS? Why do they shop J. Crew over Banana Republic? And what it comes down to is this intangible brand asset, right? This intangible feeling they have about your brand. And in today's very noisy, very busy digital landscape, when we talk about the brand being the most important financial asset, it's about how do you understand what your brand is worth and how do you make it stand out from all of your competitors? You know, Michael spoke a little bit about the fiscal implications of the brand, right? A great example of that is when Tapestry acquired Kate Spade, and we look at the financials of that acquisition, and more than 50% of the balance sheet was attributed to the Kate Spade brand itself. So a whopping $1.4 billion. You know, when people say, how can I improve something if I can't measure it? Well, this is a great way of being able to attribute a monetary value to what that brand was actually worth. And of course, today we can continue to monitor if that brand is growing in brand value. So when we know, you know, this is our goal, this is our objective, the question we get from our customers is, you know, how do I measure it? In this post-pandemic world, people are obsessed with performance marketing. You know, I even read about yesterday that private equity companies are starting to have performance marketers on their board of directors. And that's because performance marketing is easy to measure. You know, it's all about business conversion, bottom of the funnel, click to purchase. But if we know that the brand is the most important financial asset, then we really need to start thinking about other activities that support the growth of that brand performance. So things like brand building, awareness, fashion shows, celebrity engagements, influencer marketing, all of those top of the funnel activities to help create awareness as you introduce your brand to your consumer. So at Launchmetric, that's why we're really focused on the intersection of these two. And what we call that is brand performance. It looks at everything from the top of the funnel all the way through to that conversion and keeping your customer engaged for loyalty purchases. So how do we help our brands drive brand performance? It's twofold. One, we're helping them digitize internal processes and optimizing all of their resources. But more importantly, we're helping them track their different strategies using data and insights to build the most powerful marketing campaigns in the industry. We consider ourselves not just a software provider, but a real partner of the industry. You know, for over a decade, we've been working with more than 1,200 brands in the fashion, luxury, and beauty space to give them the most cutting-edge tools and data to be able to reach their consumer. We work with key partners, and not only do these brands key partners and companies believe in what we do at Launchmetrics, but we've also been awarded as a top company for how we work with our clients, what we provide them with, and the support available through the Launchmetrics team. So, the one takeaway I will say before I get into my interpretation of the data points you need to know for 2023 is essentially what we're doing here at Launchmetrics is providing our customer with the tools and data they need to make smarter decisions around their branding efforts. And I think that's a key insight into, the data statements you need to know for 2023, because having the right tools and the right data is essential to any marketer's success. How our customers are using our tools and data? Well, our media impact value algorithm, which is powered by our AI tools, helps our clients benchmark their brand and marketing initiatives. Our MIV, as we like to call it, helps brands assign a monetary value to every post, interaction, or article, using quantitative and qualitative decision-making to understand what's working and what's not. In today's very noisy landscape, as I said, brands are really trying to understand how can they push that customer along the path to purchase. With it being 3 times more touch points than 15 years ago, brands can no longer think about earned, owned, and paid media in silos. They need to think about what touch points are the most effective and the most interesting for them to reach their consumer. Using media impact value, brands can find the right touch points and also adapt the message along each touch points to push that consumer to its path to purchase. So as I talked about a lot, making smarter decisions is key for 2023. And with that, that means the new normal is making smarter initiatives to maximize your budget. So making sure you have every single dollar, every single pound, or every single euro working as hard as possible. With that in mind, it's no surprise that more than 49% of organizations have seen a decrease in expenses once they start using data. Using the right AI tools means that brands can contribute to finding new business opportunities. They can have market optimization. They can have more effective marketing and sales strategies. And overall, this leads to, of course, increased revenue. But beyond that, why are people using AI tools? Why is data so important? The real reason is because in today's world, the customer is looking for personalization. They want you to know as much about them to provide them with the best products and the best services. And that's why data is really going to be the backbone of 2023. I read this in a Forbes article, and I think it said it best. By controlling costs, companies can analyze what makes a cost-effective marketing campaign to avoid spending large amounts of money on lackluster conversions. Last year, my team worked with Publisapient to put together what's called the State of Measurement Report. And I found this a really interesting statistic because, of course, I'm not coming to you January 2023 and introducing data as the first, time it's ever been shared that you should use data in your decision-making. But what we found last year, which I thought was really interesting, is that even though everybody wants to use data and everyone's trying to use data, what we actually know or have seen is that at every level in the marketing strategy or every level of executives, that people are having a really hard time. Nearly 52% of marketers say they're having a really hard time reading data and extracting actionable insights. And this means that across fashion, luxury, and beauty companies, they're not really sure how they should be arbitrating their budgets to build the most effective marketing strategy. Beyond just having the right data, we know in this post-pandemic world, having the right tools is so important to increase operational agility and efficiency. Working with our customers, we've seen extremely interesting insights when it comes to how brands can leverage these tools. For example, our customers see up to 30% operational performance improvement, meaning terms of speed to market, target achievement, profitability, and that's just from having operational excellence. We also see performance improvement when brands are implementing the right operational tools. Again, these aren't sexy data tools, these are operational tools. When it comes to financial performance, one of our clients was able to reduce costs by $3.5 million from loss of sample loss and being more effective in how they use their samples. And lastly, speed of change between teams and departments. We've seen an increase of 5 to 10% in that speed when the right operational tools are implemented. So we've talked about data-driven metrics, and I think it's no surprise that you would see here that 50% of CMOs say that data accessibility and providing clear visibility of marketing performance to leadership is a driver of marketing success. And so what that means that in 2023, brands need to not just think about hiring great marketers, but hiring marketers that can read data, that can create actionable insights, and then providing these employees with the tools to understand what's working and what's not, seeing the data not just in their department, but holistically throughout the business. Another really interesting and maybe not surprising stat is that highly data-driven organizations are 3 times more likely to report significant improvements in decision-making compared to those that rely less on data. So in 2023, one thing that is going to be so important is that, if you want to compete with those people that are already ahead of the competition, is looking at forward-thinking capabilities as well as predictive analytics to make sure you have the right strategy in place for your marketing and operational teams. The last point that Michael touched on that I think is really interesting is amplification. In today's digital world, it's all about having the right data, connecting with the customer, but then it's about growing your brand. And when we look at the power of amplification, as Michael said, there's no denying how valuable it is to brands today. Our team has been able to see through our data that just one image amplified, really, done with a strong strategy, can help grow the brand's media impact value by 1,000 MIV dollars. Let me break that down for you. During the last season of fashion shows, we were able to send our photographers out and they shot more than 600, well, it was 649 shows to be exact, across the globe, which accounted for 73,000 images. And that was catwalk images, backstage hair and makeup, street style, and many, many more genres. And through these images, we saw 450,000 downloads of these images by 1,000 different media across 300 magazines in 52 countries. So it really shows that something, like amplification, what we do at Launchmetric Spotlight, is essential to growing a brand's presence in today's digitally savvy world. So thank you again for your time. Michael and I were so happy to kick off this Performance Summit 2023. We hope you've, already started taking notes about what you could be preparing for your team as you set your strategies for the new year. But don't just take it from us. As Michael said, we have a fantastic lineup over the next 3 days of fabulous speakers from around the world. So take note, listen in, and make sure you share your experience with us on socials using the hashtag Performance2023. Thanks so much for your time and have a great summit, everyone. Bye.